In the unpredictable dance of life where external tempests rage beyond our grasp, Stoicism whispers a timeless truth. We command not the winds, but the sails of our response, channeling energy into the realm of our thoughts, choices, and deeds, while greeting chaos with serene equanimity. This ancient wisdom, forged in the fires of Roman resilience, extends its steady hand into the intimate arenas of human connection, urging men to navigate relations with women through a lens of universal kindness, equity, and reverence, tempered by vigilant self-restraint against the sirens of unchecked desire, fostering interactions rooted in thoughtful discernment rather than fleeting impulse. Delving deeper, Stoicism illuminates a subtle yet profound ethic for men, the art of selective silence, not as a veil of deceit or emotional fortress, but as a bastion of self-mastery, preserving dignity amid vulnerability's pull. What must remain veiled from a woman's gaze to honor both souls involved? Not out of archaic chauvinism, but from a profound grasp of human fragility and time-honored roles, this discretion embodies humility, discipline, and the Stoic pursuit of virtue, transforming potential pitfalls into pathways of mutual elevation. Together, let's unveil these 8 sacred veils, drawing from the unyielding ethos of emperors and slaves alike, who turned inward trials into outward triumphs. First, conceal your weaknesses, not to feign invincibility, but to forge it within. In Stoic lore, as Marcus Aurelius etched in his Midnight Musings, true metal gleams not in lament, but in quiet conquest, where adversity is the anvil shaping character through patience, fortitude, and unswerving persistence. Far from emotional repression, this is deliberate alchemy, confronting tempests with rational poise rather than seeking solace in a partner's pity, for sympathy can erode the very resilience it seeks to mend. The Stoic man draws from an inexhaustible inner well, viewing frailties not as stains but as crucibles for evolution, a perpetual odyssey of self-refinement where every shadow cast by hardship illuminates a bolder silhouette, radiating composed strength that commands respect without a word, a beacon in our turbulent epoch where chaos tests the disciplined mind's quiet dominion. Second, shroud your dreams in personal mist, not from fear of judgment, but to nurture their purity against the dilution of external applause. Stoicism, with its pragmatic realism and fierce autonomy, regards ambitions as sacred compasses aligned to one's core virtues, pursuits born of deliberate intent rather than grandiose illusions. Epictetus, the enslaved sage, would counsel sharing them sparingly, lest validation become a crutch that warps the soul's true north. For the Stoic man chases horizons not for cheers, even from a beloved's lips, but for the quiet bloom of self-actualization, investing zeal in feasible quests that enrich his essence and ripple outward in service to kin. This guarded introspection, echoing Aurelius's decree that life's felicity hinges on thought's caliber, ensures dreams remain untainted engines of fulfillment, self-sustained and sovereign, a testament to the Stoic creed of intentional living where aspirations are weighed in the scales of reason, blooming into a life of profound, unborrowed contentment. Third, temper the revelation of your feelings, embracing them as inner navigators rather than public tempests. Contrary to the myth of Stoic emotional exile, philosophy invites a mindful tango with sentiment, acknowledging passions as luminous guides on the soul's voyage, yet wielding them with judicious restraint to prevent their sway over reason's helm. The Stoic man, attuned to how affections color cognition and conduct, discloses them not impulsively, but with calibrated grace, preserving relational harmony by voicing vulnerabilities only when they fortify bonds, rather than burden them, projecting an aura of tranquil sagacity that invites trust without unraveling into perceived volatility. This fusion of heartfelt acuity and logical reins crafts a resilient equilibrium where emotions sharpen wisdom's edge, enabling life's labyrinths to be traversed with insightful poise, a harmonious symphony of feeling and intellect that begets enduring equilibrium and purposeful communion. Fourth, cloak your mistakes in reflective solitude, transforming stumbles into silent sages rather than spectacles of self-flagellation. Stoicism reframes errors not as indictments, but as indispensable tutors in virtue's academy, approached with humble diligence and incisive hindsight, disclosing them selectively to a woman guards against misread frailty, not from shame's grip, but from wisdom's whisper that such revelations serve growth best in privacy's forge. The Stoic man, embodying Epictetus' maxim that woes stem not from events, but our interpretations thereof, dissects missteps with objective scalpel, extracting gems of foresight while owning their genesis, sans blame's deflection or pity's plea, emerging refined and accountable, a perpetual pilgrim toward sagacity, where each lapse is a ladder rung, climbed with integrity's quiet resolve. Fifth, safeguard your secrets as sanctuaries of the spirit, entwined with discretion's noble thread and honor's unbreakable weave. In Stoic tapestry, confidences, be they whispers of the past or enigmas of the present, embody the soul's inviolable core, shielded not from duplicity but to venerate personal sovereignty and the trust bestowed by others. For Cicero's clarion call that the human essence is life's holiest relic resonates here, mandating a custodianship that upholds integrity against betrayal's shadow. The Stoic man, ever the sentinel of his inner citadel and another's entrusted vault, discerns with innate prudence what merits the light, fostering bonds deepened by mutual reverence rather than eroded by indiscretion. A dignified dance where privacy's veil enhances rather than obscures the authenticity of connection. Sixth, veil your pleasures with moderation's mantle, lest they eclipse virtue's steady flame. Stoicism's tempered gaze on delight, neither ascetic denial nor hedonistic plunge, counsels a reasoned savoring recognizing ecstasy's ephemeral spark as a potential snare for the undisciplined will yet a worthy companion when reined by self-command. Epictetus illuminates this liberation through desire's bridle, not its banquet, freeing the Stoic man to indulge life's nectar without enslavement, particularly in amorous tides where unchecked craving might compromise autonomy. Thus, he confides such joys inwardly cultivating independence that enriches rather than enthralls, embodying a poised enjoyment that aligns rapture with rectitude, navigating delight's currents with the captain's sure hand. Seventh, bear your pains in resilient hush, not as martyrdom's mask, but as fortitude's forge. Stoicism elevates suffering not to be evaded, but embraced as the refiner's blaze. Seneca's forge, where fire assays gold and trials temper the valiant, transforming agony into ascent's fuel, met with buoyant endurance rather than despair's display. The Stoic man, in love's tender arena, withholds pain's raw theater to shield relational sanctity, drawing instead from an arsenal of cheer and metamorphosis, viewing each thorn as a catalyst for character's bloom, a steadfast voyager who alchemizes hurt into higher purpose, radiating unbowed vitality that inspires rather than implicates. Eighth, and perhaps most poetically, temper the proclamation of your love, letting deeds weave its tapestry over declaration's fanfare. Stoicism envisions affection as a rational river, fervent yet free, autonomous yet appreciative, uncluttered by possessive torrents or obligatory odes. For Aurelius warns against mirroring the errant in vengeance's guise, preserving integrity amid passion's pull. The Stoic man cherishes love as unowed grace, expressing it through empathetic acts and steadfast support rather than verbose vows, nurturing gratitude's garden where autonomy flourishes beside intimacy, crafting unions profound in their poised profundity, a serene sovereignty that elevates both hearts in virtue's verdant embrace. As our exploration crests, these 8 veils, weaknesses, dreams, feelings, mistakes, secrets, pleasures, pains, and love, emerge not as barriers to authenticity, but as bridges to it. Stoicism's clarion call against artifice or aloofness, championing instead a symphony of candor, fidelity, tact, and temperance, where warmth waltzes with wisdom and autonomy. In veiling these, a man unveils his truest self, courage's quiet thunder, sagacity's subtle light, integrity's iron core, fortitude's flame, honor's halo, joy's judicious jewel, moderation's measure, and love's luminous legacy, distinguishing the mature guardian from the impulsive youth. A noble odyssey, challenging yet crowning, unpalatable yet exalted, not for the masses but for those who pledge to philosophy's path. A life etched in resilient virtue. Your presence honors this dialogue. Lend a like if these insights stirred your Stoic spark. Subscribe to journey further into antiquity's arsenal for today's trials. And in the comments, unveil one veil you'll weave tighter. Which resonates deepest and why? Explore the linked vignettes below for kindred kinships until our paths converge anew. Abide in principle, endure with elegance, and thrive unbound.